Hey everyone. So one of the easiest ways to get an idea of how hard you're working when you're doing a workout is to use your heart rate. And so there are a couple different ways that you can measure your heart rate. One of the easiest ways is to use just a wearable device, so maybe a chest strap or something. So if you have something like this, like a watch that's going to tell you your heart rate, definitely go ahead and use that. That's easiest. And it's fairly accurate. It's not the most accurate, but it's going to get you close. If you don't have a watch or a wearable device, that is perfectly fine. There is another accurate way to take your heart rate. There's two ways, just using your own body. It's called your radial pulse. So if you take your fingers, two fingers, not your thumb, but two fingers, and you put it right along the outside edge, the thumb side, you'll feel a tendon right here. And you want to place your fingers on the outside of that tendon on the thumb side, not on the other side. So if you place your fingers there lightly and just wait a second, and you should feel your pulse. Okay, so this is sometimes a little tricky for people to get. If you can't feel it there, the other way to get your heart rate is to go for your carotid pulse. So you find the little corner of your chin and you move down just along right around where your earlobe would be in that same line, and you should be able to find a pulse. Now don't press too hard in either position, because then you'll sort of start to cut off blood flow and it makes it harder to get the pulse. So once you're able to measure your heart rate, then you can start using it for workouts. The higher your heart rate is, the harder you're working. Okay, and so there are a couple instances in your workouts where you can use this information. So how long should you take your heart rate for? So the general rule is if you're taking your heart rate before your workout and you want to compare it to after your workout, or you're taking your heart rate right after you're done working out to see how quickly your heart rate recovers, just go for 60 seconds. Okay, just have a timer or a clock or something and count off 60 seconds. So you would just say, okay, for 60 seconds, I'm going to count the number of beats that you get. So I would sit here for a minute, maybe it's after a workout, I'm counting the number of pulses that I feel under my finger, and then I write that number down. So let's just say I just did a workout and I took my heart rate, or maybe I got some instant feedback from a wearable device and it said 138 beats per minute because I took it for a minute. Now, if you're wanting to know what your heart rate is during a workout, definitely do that. It's a really good way to kind of over time see how you're doing in the workout. If your heart rate is lower for a workout the next day than it was the day before, you're getting it more in shape. But counting the pulse for 60 seconds is a little tough. So you can count it for 15 seconds and multiply by 4. So 15 multiplied by 4 is 60. So it's still out of 1 whole minute. You're just doing it a little bit quicker with that math. So maybe I'm doing a workout and I stop for 15 seconds and I take my pulse. I'm checking to see what it is. And then I multiply it by 4, and that's going to give me my workout heart rate. If you have questions about taking your heart rate, make sure you ask.